So now we're going to be going over the benefits. The program is with United Healthcare. It is a national network. And I'm going to go ahead and share the co-pays here. We have basically two plans that we're offering for medical insurance. One is the United Healthcare National Plan that I just discussed. And the second is the Transamerica Gap Insurance. Some of you are already familiar with the gap. It helps you cover deductibles and co-pays. So let me go over this now. And if you have any questions, we'll be setting up a meeting so that I can answer any one-on-one questions after these videos are reviewed. So primary care office copay is $25. Everything else will be covered at 100% thereafter. Specialist copayment, $75, 100% coverage by UHC as well. If you have any additional services like surgeries performed in the doctor's office that would apply towards the deductible, the gap will cover those charges. So a lot of times you'll go to a dermatologist and they'll do an office surgery. That will be applied to your deductible. It could be another $100. The gap will cover that, okay? You also have virtual visits included with a zero copay. Basically, you FaceTime a doctor, a little pharmacy map pops up, and by the time you're hanging up, you have a prescription waiting for you at your nearest pharmacy. We have also the mini or minute clinics, and those are just a $25 copayment. There, instead of FaceTiming a doctor, you see a nurse practitioner face-to-face. They have them in the CVS's and the Targets. Obviously, there's a pharmacy there, so you will leave with your prescriptions there as well. And then we have urgent care, which we're all familiar with, that has a $50 copayment of you do not have the gap. If you have the gap, it will be fully covered by the gap, bringing that copayment to zero. If you go into the emergency room, here we do have a deductible of $5,000, which is why we're offering the gap that would fully cover those $5,000. There is a $300 copayment after the deductible, but as long as we're not going to the emergency room every other week, we should be fine, and you probably will never pay this $300 because the average cost of an emergency room is about $2,500. So with the gap, you can go twice and still not be compelled to pay those $300, okay? If we need any x-rays and or lab work, the deductible does apply. Once again, the gap will cover the lab and the x-rays. If you do not have the gap insurance, then that will be your responsibility because it does apply towards a deductible. So we strongly encourage the gap insurance so that when you call our claims department, we have good news for you. If you have an MRI or a CAT scan, those are about $500. Once again, the deductible applies on the United Healthcare side, and it will be covered by Transamerica if you decide to get the gap. Outpatient surgeries, the deductible is fully covered, and after that, United covers everything 100% unlimited. So there would be no liability in case of an outpatient surgery, which are the most common ones these days since they're trying to keep us out of the hospitals. And if we do need to end up in the hospital, same $5,000 deductible, same coverage by Transamerica, zero exposure to you. Unless you do not have the gap, then you would have a $5,000 deductible. Everything would be covered at 100%, and the benefits are unlimited. The prescription drugs are a 15 generic, 35 brand name, 75 newer brand names, and 250 specialty drugs. The gap insurance and medical rates are right here below. And here you have the medical insurance deduction for a single person, which is $70.40 biweekly. And if you wanted to add the gap so you could have zero exposure, it would be another $33.80. All of these deductions are done on a before tax basis, which means that your check will come down less than this $103 if you add these together. It will come down about $80. The other $23 are tax savings. So I'm going to stop here so that we don't make these videos too boring, and then I'm going to go over the dental and the vision on the next video. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen.